The main cadences in a blues happen between the last row of chords, meaning measure 4, measure 8, measure 12, resolving to the first row of chords, measure 1, measure 5, measure 9. When you're working with a jazz blues, it's important to know the full progression. So it's 1, 4, 1, 2, 5 to 4. Then it's going to be sharp 4 diminished, 1, 2, 5 to the 2 minor, 5, and then a 1, 6, 2, 5 at the end. Now, if I'm just looking at those last measures of each line, always think about the blues as 3 lines of 4 measures. I have a cadence to the 4 chord. Then I have a cadence to the 2 chord. And then finally, I have a cadence back to the 1 chord. The simplest way to approach this is to just play altered on everything to start with. Off the bat, it's just an easy choice. It's easy to visualize. So let's just see what that means in the context of the key of A. We're going to do it in the key of A, the people's key, once more. So to get to the 4 chord, which is D7, I'm going to have to use A altered. It's the altered of the chord that's preceding it in the cadence. So if I'm thinking about A altered, I'm just thinking maybe melodic minor a half step up from the root. That's an easy way to visualize that. So B flat melodic minor over A is the sound of A altered. But you got to resolve that to that D. Maybe D mixolydian. Now, in the next cadence, you're going to play over an F sharp 7 and use the same thing, half step up melodic minor. So that would be like G melodic minor over the F sharp. And you're resolving to B Dorian this time. And then that final cadence is going to be E altered, which is playing F melodic minor on an E root. And you're resolving to an A7. So if you just want to isolate those things and work on your chops doing that kind of resolution, you just got to learn how to do that same thing in 3 keys. It's not really the same thing because going to B, you have to go to a minor tonality. The last cadence in the form, inside the form, meaning measure 8 resolving to measure 9, is going from an altered sound to a diatonic Dorian kind of sound. So it's not exactly the same. It's really a tiny bit different. But in the key of A, here's that A7 to D sound. Here's that F sharp altered to B minor. And here's that 5 chord E, resolving back to the root chord. Now I'm going to play super slow just so you can really hear the motion. I'll try to put some bass notes in it too. So So I really try to include melodic minor in all those points. And that's something maybe you want to practice with a shape. I'll just show you a simple lick that you can do if you just grab a Hendrix chord for each one of these things and build a line around it. So the line I'm going to build is going to look like this. Here's the first one, A Hendrix chord. And from that sharp 9 in the chord, I'm going to go. Now, the reason I'm doing this one is because it resolves to the 5th of the next chord, and you can use it in all 3 situations. So if I'm just playing a blues and I just sort of apply it mechanically at every point, I'm going to have to first do it here to resolve to D. Then I'm going to apply it here to resolve to B minor. And then here to resolve back to the root. Now check this out. Obviously don't do that at a gig, right? Obviously, they're gonna think you have double down, but this is just a great tool to be able to start visualizing how you build lines from shapes. If you do this, and then maybe transfer that lick here, same thing, but now you can maybe export it to this shape. Check this out, now I'm gonna go. So the more ways you can do something, the better it gives you some mobility, better understanding of the neck, and better understanding of the cadence. Cool. See you next time. Subscribe, hit all the buttons, join our Patreon, and I don't know. Yeah, just do all that. See you next time.